Well, I'm happy that you joined Lily, and Lily is my friend. She's a coach. She's a leadership coach, and I asked her to have a conversation with us, with the Viking Nature Group, with everybody who wants to join, and while drawing or while having a coffee or whatever. And the idea is to talk about the healing power of art. Ah, good coffee. The healing power of art, and then Lily wrote this book, Lead Change Hard Way, and so she will tell us about it and what does she mean by this title. And well, we can ask questions, of course. And if you're not here, you didn't have the chance to be live, you can join us later. So I'm really happy to have you, Lily. You're a dear colleague and friend, and we have just gone together to a really good workshop and about art therapy. And so you have a lot, I think you have a lot to share in a very realistic way. We can talk from being a coach, and because she's a very successful coach, but let's talk about the more the woman behind the coach. So Lily, how are you doing?
I am fine. Thanks so much, Lupe, for this invitation. Just as we thought about how could we accept ourselves in a more imperfect way, I was trying to remind ourselves with all the hiccups we had before we have this life.
Well, that's one of the skills of a coach, to be okay with the uncertain, with the unknown, with the things that may come up not as we expected, and be okay with it. So, well, we're doing fine. We're walking the talk.
Yes, that's more important.
Yes. Okay. So first, I would like to ask you, Lily, what made you get into coaching? What made you go into this career of coaching? I know that you do astrology. I know that you have gone to lots of art therapies courses, and so you're a very curious person. So, but what brought you to coaching, to now be a trainer?
I see. Well, I must say I did not plan to be a coach, neither a successful coach or whatever adjective you put before the word coach. So what I would like to say is actually I took up coaching certification at the point when it was the lowest at my career. I started my career in training, so I was quite well versed in training many years ago for 3-4 years, and then I quit that job in training. So I didn't know what to do. I like training, but at that point of time, because I started that company, I quit it. So I felt I would be a betrayer if I would set up another company to be the competitor of that company I set up. So it's like two persons fighting, and both belongs to me. So I really didn't know what to do at that point of time. So I took a career break for almost a year. So it was a point of time. I don't know, sometimes when you are at the bottom of whatever it is, you see that could be a possibility. You also didn't know what to do with it or what you plan in the long term, what that would be. So that's how I took up a coaching certification.
And so you got it. You got it for yourself because you were at the bottom. You wanted to feel better, and then it developed into a career, or how?
Yes, I wanted it to be better. So at that point of time, it was a point of time where, sometimes when you're at the bottom of something, you just need to grab hold of something, right? Yes. So when you grab hold of something, you do not know whether that thing that you are holding on would serve you any good long-term, short-term, whatever it is. So at that point of time, I was looking for something to kind of like I can put on my shoulder like a certificate, like something that, oh, I am a coach. You know, that's what the certificate meant for me at that point of time. I am a coach. I'm certified now. Yeah, that I need that to bring me up, to bring it back again.
Yeah.
So that's why I started my coaching certification.
Like the first step to get into something, to feel okay, I guess.
Yeah.
But also you're a successful coach, and I have to say that because I see you work a lot and earn money, because I mean many of us study coaching and do the coaching. I mean, so many coaches all over the world, but not many work as a coach and earn money as a coach.
Okay. I like this question, Lupe. Your question made me laugh. It wasn't like that. When I first got that certificate, coaching certificate, that was 20 over years ago. When I got this coaching certificate, I was one of the pioneers in Malaysia to get this certificate. So at that point of time, there wasn't, I must be frank with you, that at that point of time, not many people or organizations knew what coaching was.
Okay.
Imagine during that point of time when we went to sell coaching, you still need to explain what coaching is all about from basic.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's also the reason why I made the switch. I made a switch. So I did not do coaching fully. So I rather use that skill to fall back to what I was good at or doing all this while training. So I train coaching skills to people managers.
So you use your experience plus the new knowledge, and then you created something. And then you also, we were talking many times about how to get your astrology, your holistic way of seeing the world, and all the what you have gained and all the knowledge into the corporate world. I guess it's not so easy to tell a manager, a CEO about astrology, or or seeing the world in a holistic way. How is that?
Oh, now that you talk about it, it is the same. I think to be very frank, as of now, I dare not tell many people. Okay, I dare not tell many people in the corporates who are my clients that I learned astrology, or I'm an astrology practitioner.
They
Simply
freak
because,
out.
sorry?
They'll
They will
freak
freak out.
out.
Yeah, you're right. They will freak out and have that kind of look at me. So I do have that perception that I do not want to be wrongly perceived, that I'm on, again, now that you're asking me this question, it reminds me like, it's very similar to when I first got my coaching certificate. I need to explain what astrology is really about. Yeah. So
Because
for people to understand what astrology is. So I'm actually into that phase now. Now you talk about it.
that's really cool too. So maybe it will come the time that all the corporates will see the value. But especially here in Asia, I see that astrology, I mean, I see that a lot of people pay attention to astrology in terms of when babies are born, or the dates and the sun and the moon. For me, it's more, I don't know anything about astrology, and I actually would see you with a look like, what does that have to do? But I guess it's because we're so disconnected with the sun and the moon, and so we, and also because maybe there's so many people that we perceive as he blah, 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 but he doesn't know. So yeah, we have a I can say that I don't know. So until I know, when somebody tells me better about astrology, I think yes, there is a perception of what are you trying to sell me, or
Yeah, exactly. I think there is a perception of in this part of the world that I'm trying to sell something which is not very proper and blend it into the corporate world. Number two, most people, even among my friends, most people who know me and know that I learn astrology, uh, they would maybe ask me question like, oh, can you help me to make forecast?
Ah.
And can you help me to make forecast? Will I be rich? Will I get love? will my career path be whatever, not whatever, not? So a lot of so-called forecast requests.
So
Yeah,
Lily, so
astrology. Yeah,
how
which is not the real
so
astrology. Yeah, I
so
personally.
yeah, so what is the real astrology, and how would you maybe give me an example? How would you add a little bit of astrology in somebody's work life, or somebody, not only work life, in somebody's life? How would astrology help us?
Okay, maybe I think I can't speak for other people. Maybe I speak about my life, yeah, how
Yes,
I use
yes.
astrology. In fact, now I laugh at other people who come to me with all these forecasts. I started with that. I started learning astrology to want to know, hey, now I got some information on hand that can make me maneuver my life better. I started with that. Then, okay, as we start to interpret the astrology chart, then of course, we will look at some of the things are good, some of the things, I mean, favorable. Some of the things are more favorable, some not, and that kind of thing. And I tell you, just now we talk about fear, right?
Yeah.
When we start to know and read and interpret that, hey, something not very favorable is coming, then the fear start to set in, especially when we know how to interpret it. So uh, then many of times I experience that as okay, what should I do with it? What should I do with it? So that fear sets in. Not until after a while when I start to embrace better uh, that this astrology, they give us a map. They give us a map. They can tell you, okay, you can from here where you're going to point A to point B, and then there are ways that you can get there. But you always have a choice of which road you want to take. So
Uh-huh.
it starts to change my thinking about interpretation of astrological chart. I start to look at it from just like coaching, we talk about choice. So it's about the mindset of how I look at it. First and foremost, let's go back to fear. So when I look at it, do I feel fearful or I accept it better? Try to embrace it and accept it, although I knew it was coming. That's one. Number two, looking at it, hey, I know it's coming. Do I have a choice? Yes, I
Mm.
have a choice of how I want to deal with it. So, of course, some of the major aspect which I think is kind of coming my way, which is really unfavorable, the fear becomes bigger. But somehow, still go back to the fundamental. Do I have a choice?
Okay.
What choice do I make
Ah,
when I face all?
yeah, that's very interesting, because you sometimes you feel that with astrology you don't have a choice. They tell you, okay, your destiny is tomorrow. I don't know. So it's not. It's good that you tell us that it's like a roadmap, and then you always have the choice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. We always have a choice.
Okay, Lillian. So tell us a little bit about this art journey that lead you to this book. Um, so you were doing 40 days of art every day. Tell us in which context. Tell us also, was it all the time fun, or you have to force yourself to go and paint? So many things. Were you happy with the results? Were you judgmental? I mean, let's begin with, how was this journey, or what is this journey about?
Mm. Okay, well, I started to get in touch with this social art therapy thing when my girl was younger. So I had some basic, but not until during the pandemic time, especially the initial phase of the pandemic, where all of us were really in fear. And also because and also because of my historical background, I do have very deep fear in me. So during one of the days in the pandemic, I had
Yes.
a very serious panic attack. I had a very serious panic attack. My
Horrible.
hand was
Yeah.
my hand was just sweating out of nothing. No reasons I couldn't figure out logically. Don't know what triggered it. So, but at the body level, I felt it. So at that point of time, I knew I need to do something. And as I mentioned, so happened because of the community of this anthroposophy art therapy I'm in. I saw on the very same day a brochure on my WhatsApp saying that hey, there is this 40 days art challenge that you could do. So I said, okay, why not I do it? So this 40 days art challenge was initiated by one of the anthroposophy art therapists by the name of Rita, based in UK. And yeah, so I said, okay, I'm going to do it since that we had nothing to do, nothing much to do
Yes.
during the
Yes.
pandemic. All of us were locked down.
Yeah.
So, so there were a few projects we could do. So I picked up one. So that's how I paint every night following the process as per instructed in that brochure. And that's where I started to paint.
So what
So
was you had to the instructions were you have to paint every day, you have to paint something.
Okay, the instruction very interesting. The instruction was very easy. All right, so I shared the one I went through. So all I need to do is to cut the paper into, I think it's 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter, and then we can use any art material we want. So at that point of time, as a coach or trainer, I have a lot of leftover crayon or oil pastels in the house. Since we were locked down, we didn't have any training, so I just used those recycle ones. So every night I just I just lay the newspaper in the front of me and I start to paint. So the process was, we started on one side of it. We started on one side of it, which is either the left, all right,
Yes.
or at the bottom. You choose either one, and then you start to think of your current situation, or a moment where you feel down or with some unfavorable feelings that you have. So you just paint whatever colors, how you want to do it whatsoever, then let the colors kind of like seep into the other side to the right. And then at some point of time, when you feel you've got enough of to express what your current status is, then you start from the right to the left now. So from the right to the left is a state where you want to be. Say, for example, currently I'm feeling very anxious. I'm feeling a lot of fear and all those things. So I will start with that on the left, and all those. And then I stop. And then what I want to replace, a state I want to replace with the current state. I want to be hopeful.
Yes.
I want to sense freedom, whatever not. So whatever come to your mind, you use colors to express it. So I paint from the right to the left. So the third step is looking at these two sides. You can imagine the colors combination, the strokes are all very different. So the third step is you work on the middle and try to merge the two sides to make it whole, to make the whole one piece look like one art piece. So that's where you start from the middle, go a little bit to the left, go a little bit to the right, go a little bit to the left, that kind of thing. So well, until you feel okay, I mean, you just put down. So this process is so. I think you just went with me last week to the art session, right? So you know, this process itself really is so healing. So imagine I do it because the instruction is also you need to do it 40 days non-stop. Yeah, with the same art material. If I choose oil pastel, it will be oil pastels throughout. Yeah, so that's what I did for 40 days.
So how interesting. So I guess it works in the unconscious because I mean it's something that you're doing with your hand, and you are looking with your, I mean, your eyes, and you're feeling. And so when you merge, I guess it's something that you see merging in the paper, then it applies to yourself, I guess.
Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. So, like you said, I really feel it was so helpful and so healing that I continued the second cycle, another 40 days.
Wow.
Many stopped. It was actually a global art project. Whoever gets it, you can do it at home. So that's what the instruction is. Because it was the pandemic, everybody got locked down. So, but I chose to continue the second cycle because I saw the benefits I gained from it. And not only that, I continued with the third cycle. So in all, I think I completed 4 cycles that I ended up with many art pieces.
Wow. So this woman is an art therapist, the one who gives the instructions.
Yes, yes. She is. She is. She's also a friend of Prof. Eudron too.
Oh yes, the teacher that we just went. This amazing. She's from Germany. We did a 4-day art therapy course, and it was very moving. I didn't know, I thought, and even I remember you said something about, I mean, how amazing how the elements, the 4 elements, water, fire, earth, and air, can have a big influence in us, I guess, like you say, the planets. And I remember you sharing that one of the things, for somebody who doesn't know about art therapy like me, that, for instance, for cancer patients, they ask them not to do too much into the water because the it expands when you put a lot of water. It expands. So I guess it's amazing the influence it has on us.
Yes, exactly. Just like if you remember in our 4 days workshop, uh, when Prof. Hudron cut the paper,
Oh,
I don't know, I felt it. I felt the pain. So it influenced our body. It's all connected.
it's amazing. Yes, what Lily's sharing with this professor was cutting paper, and uh, we were feeling, the sound, the marks she was doing on the paper, give you sensations, and you can relate them to memories, and but of course it has to be done by an art therapist who can deal with the emotions that arise in you, because so yeah, so it's so okay, so let's go back to this 40-day journey, and then how it relate to your book. I mean, why this led you into a book? What was the benefit that brought these 40 days of art in your life?
Well, as mentioned, I completed almost 4 cycles. That means 4 times 40. I had many
Wow.
art pieces in square like this, small pieces, which I filed it in the envelope. So again, I sometimes really wonder how doors are open to us whenever we are ready to explore and the time is right. Um, when I had all those pieces with me, even at the end of pandemic, I mean, even when we went into endemic or when the pandemic was over, I didn't think of writing a book. Not until maybe a year later, I looked at those pieces, art pieces, and I said, hey, I'm a coach. And I've got a lot of ideas. And as I see these art pieces, something came to my mind, which are very relatable to the works I do.
Mm-hmm.
And why not I merge the art pieces with the cognitive part of it, of the work I do as a coach, as a facilitator, as a
Mm-hmm.
speaker? Then I see what I see what it will come up with. So I start to blend. I start to I feel those art pieces, some of them are kind of like talking to me. There are stories behind it.
Yeah.
So why not I write something on top of it that people can relate to? So that's where I start to write short articles, which are connected to the art pieces, and then again I ended up with many art pieces together with the articles. And at the end, I said, "Hey, why not? I make it into a book." So that's the idea. That's how the idea of the book was born.
Yes, I'm showing now your book, Life is Good, some of the art pieces, nature, nature's beauty. And you always have, it's very interactive book because you always are asking questions, very easy to read. And a new self-care routine, guilt, savor a cup of coffee, I'm a vegetarian. So um, so so you said that there was a story behind each piece, and so was it healing for you? Was what? How do you see it healing? How do you? Is it because you could put it on paper, and then every time you saw it, you felt that you had done the process, you had been there with that emotion? How was it healing for you?
Wow, very much so. Well, I think the healing process of the whole book publishing, phase one was all the art making process, the 40 days time, 4 cycles. And phase two was when I merged the art pieces to the writing. So I, just like coaching, I start to articulate my thought, and I'm able to see in
Mm-hmm.
words and writings. And that itself sometimes gave me some answers
Uh-huh.
to the questions I have in my mind. And sometimes it reinforces my practice as a coach. Because sometimes as a coach, as a facilitator on the topics that I talk about, resilience, talk about trust, talk about vulnerability, yeah, we can talk and we can tell people. But what about us? Do we role model it? Do we really embrace it
Oh,
ourselves?
yes.
Yeah, I find the writing process adds another layer of healing to the art process,
Mm.
to the art pieces I made.
You
Yeah.
know what? It reminds me, and look at the connection. I don't know if it will be understood, but it reminds me on the breathing in and the breathing out, no? Breathing in, you draw, breathing out, then the expressing, maybe the writing, uh, it's like what we do sometimes in biking nature. I said to the girls, we go, we cycle, and maybe we have some question in our mind. Then we come back, and when we do this short sharing of what was the ride, how did I feel, I could do better than yesterday, or I was very tired, whatever. The sharing is like the breathing out. So you have a breathing in the experience, then the breathing out. So you need both, I guess.
Thank you so much, Lupe. When you were saying it, I felt very much like interrupting you, but I just want to tell you, it's so spot on. The metaphor you gave kind of like summarized what I wanted to say just now. Is just the breathing in and out. Yes.
And the breathing in and out, both we discovered in this art therapy course with, well, I'm sure you have discovered it before, but we are both airy and fire kind of people. And I could see, so I encourage people to go to these art therapy classes or sessions, because I could see how, breath is so important and tells you so much about yourself. When I was doing my drawings and my paintings, and curiously, throwing water, and I was in some moments I was really breathing very quickly, and then I said, what happened? Just to observe how your breath is, it's giving you information. How am I feeling? What's going on? And then in some other occasions, I was more gentle and more calm. Yeah, so it's interesting, the breathing.
Yeah, it is. Now that you talk about it, I also find this art therapy or the art process is kind of like a very complementary to our role as a coach,
Mm-hmm.
because coaching is talking is cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, and then with the art, it kind of like blends very
Yes.
well.
And it's so cool that you invited me to join, because I tell you, as a coach, and I always like to take courses and this and that, but sometimes you get tired of the talk. I want to experience, I want to use my hands, I want to be free, be curious. And so that was so ideal. I'm really interested in this art therapy. So yeah. So Lily, so what would you encourage people to do by listening to you about doing these journeys of art? I mean, how can somebody at home like me, or somebody, yeah, I have to put every day the oils, what practical tips on, I how do I draw every day, and what is the basic thing? Do I just enjoy? Do I look at the results? What if I hate what I did? I mean, what's the healing in the art that you do? Do you have to reach to a certain image of what you want, or you just are not judgmental with a piece of art? I mean, what if you were to encourage somebody to do healing with art, what would you say?
Well, I think for me, I think the process of art therapy or healing itself has got many layers. Like you say, some of the deeper ones, you need an art therapist to do that, yeah, someone professional. But on a day-to-day basis, I find art itself is healing just by you express your current feelings. I think for us to express our feelings and externalize it and put it on a piece of paper or whatsoever, that itself is kind of like throwing out. Shall we say breathe out? I don't know. Just throw out
Yes.
whatever inside you out.
Mm.
So I think that is the most basic that everyone can do. So yeah, just about 2 weeks ago, I also felt I have not been drawing, painting for a while. So just 3 weeks ago, I also felt that was the day I just want to do something. So all I did was I just took out a piece of paper, just with a ball pen. I just doodle. I just doodle
Okay.
aimlessly. I think something about I just doodled aimlessly. At the end of half an hour doodling, I found peace.
Mm.
Yeah, so that will be, I think, on a day-to-day basis, something quite basic to start with. Of course, for some of us who are already painting or have some basic knowledge, information, or skills on this, I find the healing part, the healing part comes in most when we are kind of like wanting the art piece from moment to moment. We wanted the art piece to look beautiful.
So is that the healing you said, when we want it to look beautiful?
Yes, because a lot of time, okay, just now we were just talking about, we just use this word about imperfection, right? To want the art to look beautiful is want it to be perfect in our own mind. So if we are daring enough to use this as a process to allow ourselves from moment to moment to accept whatever come up, whatever that you ink on that piece of paper, and you just accept that it is, would you? Sometimes we have to, hey, this is not enough. Let's have another stroke. Oh, it becomes worse. Shall I patch it back?
Exactly. So I don't see any healing in wanting it to be perfect. I mean, I feel that I want to make peace with what it is, with what is, because I usually paint, and when I want it to be nice, which I always want to be nice and beautiful, it never is. But when I just allow myself to enjoy and just be curious, and even if it gets dirty, I go with the flow and it gets dirty, and then I can see some corner that I said, whoa, I like that. I like that.
Exactly. Exactly. So I find when we do so, every moment we are reminding ourselves not to be perfect, to accept things as it is, which you immediately externalize it on the piece of paper from home. You did. Sometimes you don't even have to wait until the whole art piece is made. I think in the process itself, every stroke, every color when we pick, we are there criticizing ourselves. But what if
Yes.
we go from moment to moment, then you find peace from that letting go. If every moment, every second you let go, imagine if you do so for half an hour, you find peace.
So wait, so the thinking while I'm doodling is, it's okay. It's okay. I'm not liking it, but it's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Let it flow. Whatever comes to your mind, whatever, wherever you want to go, whatever medium you want to use, whatever you want, let it be. So I think that itself is so healing for
Mm,
me.
mm. Yeah, you know, I can see I'm doing this intuitive course therapy. You know, we do it every week online, and it's very interesting because I see myself wanting to produce something beautiful, and the good thing is that I can see it. You know, the good thing is that I can say, okay, oh, Rachel Tan joined from art therapy course we just did.
Yeah,
Bye, Rachel. so yeah. So in this, at least I'm aware, and you talk a lot about awareness. At least I'm aware that I'm not liking it, and it's okay not to like it, but I'm still doing it because I I want to accept what is, and also sometimes when I'm not so um, focused on doing it beautiful, then is when I like it
yeah.
most. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. Is it so? Sometimes I do ask myself, is it really the art is beautiful because you let go? No, the art itself, the art piece itself doesn't change, but we have changed how we see our
Yes.
art.
And I think we're so judgmental because also they taught us, you know, this is art, this is not art. You have to draw beautifully. This is, even my husband, when he looks at my things, he's like, I'm like, ah. But again,
Same, same. My
yeah,
husband say the same.
but again, you know, it's my thing. You don't like it, well, it's another insight on letting go the opinion of others, and I admire the people who can do that. So I'm on my way. So
Me too. I'm on my way too. I'm really, all of us are on our way. I think it doesn't, it is not a competition of what level we are, but it is a day-to-day practice that we keep pulling us back to what is the fundamental of life. So that's what I find. It's not that, oh, I have done 100 days. Oh, I graduated from this process of uh, what is it of criticizing myself. I no more criticize myself after 100 days of painting. No, it comes back again. So again, what to do? Back to painting again.
cool. So Rachel is saying, for me, all is art. Well, I think
Yeah,
Rachel has mastered it.
yeah.
So I have many questions to ask you. Like, for instance, one of the questions that I wrote about coaching was something, you know, related to change. And here you said lead change hard ways. So do you think people can change? Do you think people can change um, at any moment in life?
Yes, I believe people can change in any moment in their life, but whatever they change to, again, is not constant. There will be another change. So that's why I find this process to art. Yeah, you thought, oh, I have transformed, I have changed. Say for me, I think I'm a vegetarian, and I do have a lot of other practices and all those things, right? So I changed. So that was in year 2017. I changed to be cleaner in my food. I started to run. I started to do a lot of healing to myself. So I changed. So have I become more sinful? What is it? Have I elevated my level? Have I got another certificate of my transformation? No.
Work in
Keep
progress.
changing. Yeah, you're right. Work in progress. Keep changing.
But you do think that if we want, we can change our personality. We can change our, if somebody wants to be more generous, they can change into being more generous. If somebody wants to be more, yeah, I mean, you think that we can unlearn and relearn?
I am hopeful that we can. I have seen also many people who have done so. And as I mentioned, I myself went through that. Like I said, from a non-vegetarian to become a vegetarian. And for someone who kind of like didn't have any active physical activities, to start to have more. And I have also witnessed people I work with make a change. Of course, I always say this, yeah. After going through some of these very traumatic moments in my life, and also this is one of the saying among my astrology group,
Yeah.
because sometimes we do see in the chart. My astrology guru used to say this: this is our life homework.
Life?
Yeah, life. Like I said, in astrology, we talk about the map, right? So there are many homeworks that we gotta do in this lifetime.
So
So
she said this is our life homework.
Yes, homework. So that means to say it's the homework, so you have to do. So sometimes I also feel it personally. So sometimes if you do not change, yeah, it there will be events that come and hit you hard.
Oh yes.
For you to do.
Yes. Do you
I think many say yes, right?
Yes, and they will repeat until we learn.
Exactly.
But do
It repeats.
you think we have to go to the bottom to learn? That's one question. And then the other is why you say lead change hard way. And tell me, in your experience, or in an experience that you have witnessed, like an example of somebody, what do you want to say with heart?
So your question is two questions here, is it? The first one is, do we need to go to the bottom in order to change?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I take the first question first. Yeah. Okay, for the first question, psychologically, there is this term called post-traumatic growth. Yeah. Meaning to say, after you have gone through certain traumatic moment, your growth, it's kind of springboard, yeah, for you to change and transform.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is actually one of the one of the psychological theory. But personally, I do agree with that very much. One, simply because the pain is very memorable.
Mm.
It's deep.
Mm.
It's deep. You remember better.
Mm.
And because of that, when it's springboard in that way, it, it stays longer. It's more sustainable in terms of the change.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
But personally,
there's wisdom in this. There's wisdom in this hurt.
Yeah, that is certainly wisdom. If I may take a recent example, okay, if you remember in the 4 days class we just went through, if I were to ask you which piece was the more memorable one for you?
The one I have here of the fire and the marks that were left, in your life,
Same with me. And I thought that this was the most significant one for me for the 4 days too. So that's it. Because we experience it at the deeper layer, so it helps us to want to transform better. Of course, I think we human beings, I find we remember the extreme cases. I remember the fun one where I had my food painting.
Yes.
The brush too. I remember the very fun one. So that's how we function. We remember the extreme. So in order for us to change, the one when we are at the bottom helps us better to transform. But the experience certainly painful and heavy. Yeah. So yeah, that would be how I would like to think.
And what makes you say the change has to be, like in your book, lead change hard way? So what is a change? Yes.
Yeah.
Well, hard way. What do you mean by that?
Okay. First and foremost, why lead change? Because a lot of times I find, just like what I mentioned just now, many of times we can't change, and many of times we change. Many of times, I thought many of times people change because I think I got no choice, right? We have heard of that a lot as a coach. No choice, change, yeah? So I would like to turn the perspective of no choice to with choice. So when you change with choice, you are leading the change instead of, let's change, I got no choice. Both are changing, but the spirit, the vibe is different. So I would like to look at it from the lead change perspective. And then why hard way? So I believe regardless what kind of changes are there in life, we have big change, small change, favorable change, painful change, happy things that make a change, right? Opportunity that make a change. Yeah, we have different kind of changes in life. But if I were to draw a line of these changes and what is underneath us of all these changes are feelings. When there are opportunities or we got excited about it, when there is a traumatic moment, we feel pain. When there is a change of maybe a new boss I have to report to, a change from a change to become a parent, all these changes, we have got anxiousness, whatever not, underneath the line. So to me, why lead change hard way? It is about the feeling. When we go through whatever changes in our life, a lot of times we look externally to do. We have a long to-do list. Okay, become a parent, I need to do this, I need to do this. Oh, now with this change, I need to do this. Lots of to do. But let's look at our emotions. Yeah, anything that we could do at the feelings level, at the bodily level, that make us kind of like, I will not say bring us good back, but bring the balance back. I think bring the balance, bring it more balance here underneath the line. Then we could deal with all these changes outside better. So that is the reason why I call this book Lead Change Hard Way.
So you pay attention, you make space for all the feelings and that arise, and then you are better. Then change happens easier because you're paying attention to what's underneath.
Yeah, exactly. And embrace it through art or through any medium that you find connected to yourself, and deal with the emotions. Embrace whatever it is. Uh, it could be painful. It could be very traumatized or whatsoever. Just breathe in and breathe out. It is within you. It's real. It's real.
The thing is that sometimes when you are sad, or when you say, okay, I'm feeling sadness, I'm going to make space for sadness, to feel it. I'm not going to hide, I'm not going to go away, I'm going to feel it, I'm going to go through this feeling, I'm going to stay with it, I'm going to breathe. But maybe there's a fear that if you make too much room, then it'll stay. Sadness will stay. So
Yeah. Yeah.
the management of emotions, we are not so, maybe we have maybe we haven't learned how to manage them.
Yeah. True. That is, I also find there is a very fine line between, can I do it myself to just be with the sadness and express it through whatever medium, art or whatsoever, to deal with or to manage our emotions better, or we should seek professional help.
Yeah, and that's why
Yeah.
it's important, I guess, to to have art therapists that are trained, or coaches, or in the case of a coach, if the coach cannot handle a case, go to
Yeah.
somebody. So it's good to be in touch, to be in a community where you feel that whatever feeling arises, you will be supported, or you can talk to somebody, you can share. We, with Lily and three other colleagues, we have a group. We have this group for 4 years now, I think, and we
Yeah, it
are,
is.
yes, and we are coaches, and we share, every 15 days, different topics. So I feel we have this community that we can share, and we can, with no judgment, and we can express ourselves. So I feel more and more it's so important to have communities in which you can share freely with no judgment, and with professional ear to listen, the somebody who cares, but not just wants to tell you what to do. Like maybe many friends we have, which is in or family, which is a nice way to try to help us, but maybe just by listening and being there is what we need.
Yeah, so true. I'm so blessed with this group that we are having, that we meet monthly. So grateful because all of us bring in the professionalism in us just by listening itself. Is so powerful. I used to joke in my class when I train coaching to people managers. I said, yeah, when you can bring in listening, how powerful it is. So it's different from when you're sad, when you're anxious, you go out for happy hour, you just vomit out whatever stress that you have, and then the next day when you go back, problems still there.
Yeah, somebody once told me, you have to teach your friend how you want to be listened to, because maybe she doesn't know. And it was such a good idea. I said, well, yeah, and maybe someday you can say, hey, you know what, I love it when you look at me and when you just listen to me without telling me what to do. And so we learn, because we, maybe nobody told us how to do it.
Yeah,
So Lily,
yeah,
we have 5 more minutes, and I would like to if you could share a little bit more about the book, and what was the intention of the book? Why write a book? Because some of us maybe, who are listening, who are coaches, or who are people who feel something they want to share with the world. Um, and, and writing a book like this is not an easy thing, because there's many things to make it as concrete as this, and to be able to sell it online and to sell it in libraries and bookshops. So how, first, what was the intention, and then how was the journey?
Yeah, well, maybe I talk about the journey first, then I'll come back to the intention. Um, I mentioned just now, the birth of this book, it started with phase one when I had the art making process for 4 cycles. And then phase two was when I merged the art pieces together with my writing. And the third phase, I find was very therapeutic for me as well, is the whole process of making the book. It all started from that favorite line that we always say, can I? I don't think I can. Is a lot of imperfections kind of thinking. I don't think I can. Huh? Having a book is like, oh, okay, writing a book, publishing a book is, oh, cannot. Lots of all these thoughts. Wow, is it credible enough to have a book? All these thoughts came in.
Yes.
So, yeah. So again, I think bit by bit, when I piece it up, pages by pages, and started to, just like the art making process, when I started to see the soft copy, and when I later refine it to add those questions at the end of each of my articles, I said, I'm a coach. Why not I make it coach like? So I ended most of the pages with a question for them to reflect, because that goes to my intention. I hope whoever is holding this book, reading this book, number one, the art itself is a language that speaks to them. They connect with the art and feel the art is healing to them. That's one. Number two, as they are reading this book, with those questions I have at the bottom of the article, they start to reflect upon their own life, their about themselves, about the situation they are in now. So I wished it is not a book that I download, people just read and absorb. I hope it connects, and I hope it gives some answers to the people after they reply to those questions. So that's my intention.
So it's not that you give the answers, you hope that they answer themselves. You just trigger the questions. You just trigger in them.
Yes.
So what can you share? Maybe one of the feedbacks, some of the feedback that you received after you published the book, that made you happier, that made you say, okay, it was worth doing this.
Oh yeah, very interesting. I think a couple of them who wrote to me, one of it was my uni mate. We have a group of good friends from the university, and this lady, she is in this community of mine. Yeah, but
Lily,
both of
sorry, but I just want to say that we are in 5:30, so I hope it doesn't stop. But yeah, just go on sharing until we.
All right, good. So this lady, we were not in good terms. We were not in good terms, so we did not talk to one another very much after we graduated. So during the time when she bought the book from me online, she also had some hiccups here and there for some reasons. The payment, this and that. So I settled that for her. So I thought when she bought the book, it's for the sake of I just buy it and then she will not read it. Not until 2 months later, in the past she hardly WhatsApp me. That day, she WhatsApp me. She showed me this book together with a plate of roti canai, and she said, "Lily, I'm now in hospital, having my breakfast, accompanying my partner who is in ICU now.
Oh, yeah.
He has been hospital for many days. So I got a shock. She hardly, I would say she never write to me. And I say something to her and all those. And then she said, this book is accompanying me in the hospital these few days. Thank you for the companionship. Wow. Then I was like, I was really touched. And you know what? I received a message from her the week after that her partner passed away.
Mm.
So it reminded me that life is really short.
Yes.
Life is really, really
Yes.
short. And this book kind of like also served its purpose as what I intended,
Mm-hmm.
to talk to people, to connect with people. And yeah,
Wow.
that's which I felt
Wow.
so much when I received the message. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. So then, Lily, maybe we can share in the comments how to get the book, online. You can maybe share it's in Amazon and all the things that maybe we can post also a picture of the book, Lead Change Hard Way. And well, thank you for this amazing conversation. I always enjoy to also be coached by you because you helped me a lot with Viking Nature. So I'm very thankful. And I remember when you made me walk all around my living room with a candle, to experience the journey that I had done and to look forward. And behind me, you can see the yellow post-it that we worked with. Well, you don't see. And thank you also for that, Lily. I know that you cannot see me now. It's amazing that you did a whole live 1 hour without seeing. So thank you for being here, so confident and being here. So I will write down your contact details. So if people want to reach out and thank you so much for this sharing.
Thanks so much, Lupe. I enjoyed this 1 hour very much, just like talking to an old friend. I've almost forgotten I'm on live. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lily, and well, see you soon. And well, we'll do more of this. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Bye bye.